I mean, there's multiple parts of Falcon's involvement. You know, they've kind of pushed the envelope in many ways and maybe set trends and set the bar for teams and other brands to be at. And because of that, I think the expectation of their presentation, of the quality of the cars, of the drivers, is much higher. And thus, I think it sets a great bar for, as we become more professional in the sport, they're a great example to look at from many different angles. And so I think because they have done that, I think it's organically pushed along the sport for other up-and-coming teams to look at them and say, hey, look, I want to be like them. I want to look like them. I want to operate my paddock like them. I want to do it that way. And so in that sense, I think indirectly, it's definitely helped the sport because it's brought us to a higher level.
My favorite thing about being a Falcon sponsor driver is, I think, the professionalism of the whole team. I'm completely addicted to motorsport, and I watch like all kinds of motorsport just because of the professionalism of how it's done, from pit wall to the rigs, the team, the crew. And to be part of something like that, that's pretty cool for me. It's been my dream job before I got here, and I'm lucky enough to be here for the last 7 years, so I'm happy out.
Being a Falcon driver brings along a lot of stuff. Basically, they will give us everything we need on the track, off the track, just to be able to compete in Formula Drift. At the track, of course, the great car Babiarz. Yeah, so it just basically I don't have to prepare anything else. I just show up and drive, which is great.
My name is Pat Gooden. We're at Njuku Racing today. The three current Falcon drivers, Darren, Tanh, and Justin, I think they're all really good dudes. They're all very helpful. Justin Pawlak has really helped me the most out of anyone, really. He's just willing to tell me, a lot of the stuff that people don't normally tell people to help me out and make sure that I can put on a good showing for Falcon. When I first started running their tires, Falcon decided they would sponsor me, and I ran 2 years of Pro-Am on Falcons, and then I've always been on Falcons since I started driving Formula D. But now this year, everyone at Falcon has just been so awesome to all of us, and always making sure we're taken care of. J-Brad always makes sure we're fed and we have what we need, and if we need parts, and Steve and Sergio are always running around helping us do whatever we need to do, and Mountain Tires. Falcon has helped me out so much, and it's just so nice to not have the stress of, oh no, is it going to get done? Because I know if it needs to get done, Falcon will help us get it done. I totally feel like we have a car that could win a championship. We built this car to basically be like Dai's 2011 championship winning car, with the exception that this has 800 horsepower and the ability to turn up to 12 or 1300. So I definitely feel like we have the car, the tire, everything to be on the podium and win a championship. I keep making small mistakes that are just nothing more than inexperience. I don't have as much experience as the other guys that have been doing it for 10 years and know everything about everything, and it's just the little mistakes that keep killing us. And if I can really focus more, I think that we have a shot at doing very well. Going into the top 32 battle with Darren, we knew that we would be following first, and we knew that he was going to be super fast, so we kept progressively speeding the car up, and I think we had the car more gripped up than I've ever had it. So it was kind of like a crazy feeling to drive. But also, entering behind someone at wall is interesting, because you can't enter behind them, because when they enter, they pull away, and then you lose proximity on the entire bank. So I knew I had to do something a little bit risky to enter behind him. So I basically drove next to him the whole run up, and then when he entered, he was entering straight, and I was doing a small flick in. So the car set perfect. I was like, okay, great, this is exactly where we need to be. He pulled a little bit, but I knew I could catch up, so I started catching, put the car where I thought I needed to be. I'm looking at his door, and I look down where we're at on the track, and I realized that, oh no, I need to transition right now. Tried to do it, I transitioned 3 feet too late. And when we hit the transition coming off the bank to flat, it just loaded the car and like bounced up and threw us off. And then the whole rest of the follow run was me just trying to catch him due to that mistake coming off the bank. When we went to lead, I knew that he had the advantage. I knew I had to do a great run, so I just left the line as hard as I could, knowing that he was going to be able to keep up. Entered and pretty much just full throttle the entire track. Not really trying to throw him off, but just trying to do the best lead run I could. And we did a pretty good run, but he stuck with us the whole time. And at the decision, they gave him the win. It was disappointing to not advance, but at the same time, like, it was my mistake, so disappointing, but not like a shock or anything. I think even though we didn't really do that great in New Jersey, I still think it was a great round. Every round we learn more and more and more, driving, car setup, everything. So I guess it really helps me calm down more to know that when I get so worked up and so excited, I don't really pay as much attention, and that's where mistakes happen at.
Battle with Kyle Mohan went really well. I was able to stick really close to his door on my follow run. On the lead run, I threw it really high on the bank, exactly what the judges were looking for. We moved on past Kyle Mohan, which was great. Got lined up against Charles Ng. I knew that his car was really fast. All the speeds that we had on him for the weekend was really fast. So we tried to throw more grip into the car, which I was comfortable in doing. And our lead run, again, I was able to throw it down. Had a really high bank run, but he was right on me. Same through all the clipping points. Felt like I had a really solid line, good angle, good smoke coming off the car. And he was just right there the entire time. On the follow run, I just tried to stick it to his door on entry, and on the bank I was pretty close, and then coming off the bank I had a bobble and straightened out, and he gained a lot of distance on me at that point, and the rest of the run I just tried to play catch up. But a big bobble like that, it's really hard to come back from, especially when he had such a strong follow run, and I just didn't have enough for him and got knocked out in top 16. But going into Seattle, I just really want to slow it down, just focus on hitting my marks, and we made some changes to the car, should make it a lot faster, should be able to keep up with these guys that are just have these rocket ships this year. But I think we have the team and the car and the tires to make it happen, and I'm just looking forward to doing the best job I can once we get there.
I felt my car was pretty even with Asbos. I ran in practice as well today or yesterday, whatever it was, and we were pretty much the same. I knew I had a good chance. I knew it'd be tough. And yeah, so preparing for that guy, you know you've got to make no mistakes to turn one. You know, there's no sandbagging, there's no lifting, there's no, you know, I should be a little bit faster, so I'll give him a car and a half just to make my life a bit easier. You've got to go, because you know that when the places swap, he's going to be right there too. So it was a good battle. It was all right. I think he got me a little bit, maybe not off the light, but down the straight. I don't know, was he able to put the power down a little bit better than I was? And that made me make a dive going into one. And from like left foot on the clutch, right foot on the brake, diving to right foot on the accelerator, I mashed the thing wide open. I don't know if I think I over-revved the motor and kind of had a bit of a bobble there, and I think that was the difference. It corrected me a little bit, and he got a better run off of the bank then, and kind of pulled a little bit of a gap just going through the transition and down into the turn that we're really close to here. And but I caught up to him again. You know, he didn't blitz us, or he didn't pull away or anything. So you got to take the positives, and there is a lot of positives from this event. So it's good. My more semi kind of happy behind the smoky documentary thingy.
So in top 16 round, I was going up against Ryan Turek. I led first, and my lead run was one of the best in the weekend, I think. And when I followed him, I did pretty good. Not like super tight, but pretty tight, and I was stable behind him throughout the track. I think that was close, but yeah, I was able to win the battle. Even though I had a really good feeling going to the battle. I know the battle is gonna be tough because Audi was doing really good that week. He was doing super close tandem battle all the way to top 8. And when I was leading, I did my best, and then of course he was close. So after my lead run, I thought I need to do really good to beat him. So when I followed him, I did my best to catch up, like towards the end of the bank. I was pretty close. And from there, I was trying to keep the proximity. But his car was so fast, I was almost lose him going to first in a bank. But I was holding, barely holding there. When he approached to the last turn, I kind of took a chance and then dived in, like didn't slow down and kind of like jump into the corner. And unfortunately, it didn't make through. And then I hit him and made him spin, and I spun myself as well. So that's the reason why I got knocked out in top 8. Considering our qualifying point, we finished 5th. 5th place, which isn't too bad. So, for sure we got good momentum going to next round in Seattle. I think we have good chance to get a podium.